Welcome to Thunder Bay Live. I'm here today with Jack Murphy. Jack, first of all, welcome. Always a pleasure to have you here. Jack, you're with Unleashed Fitness.
Unleashed Fighting Fitness, yeah.
Unleashed Fighting Fitness, and obviously you're in fantastic shape.
Thanks, Aldo.
But was it always so? Was it always...
Well, yeah, I grew up involved with martial arts, and then at a very young age I joined the military, so fitness has always been a big part of my life. Yeah.
Okay. Today we're going to be talking about a subject that is very, very serious, and I wanted to bring it to people's attention. I was at Canada Games Complex. Jack was working out and doing some things. We started talking, and I was very impressed with his honesty and with his desire to help others. So I invited him to the show today to talk about PTSD. Jack, first of all, let's talk about a little bit about your military background and how you got PTSD.
Well, it's to pinpoint exactly how I got it. It's kind of difficult. Okay. But I was diagnosed with severe PTSD in 2010. What I didn't realize was there were different events through my military career that were traumatic in nature. And as a result of that, I never had developed the ability to express how those events affected me at that time. And so, being an active alcoholic when those events happened, I used alcohol to kind of hide or get an escape from what was really affecting me.
Okay, when you say active alcoholic, when I think of an alcoholic, I think of a person that can't seem to function. But you were in the military at the time.
Correct.
So how did you function? Could you tell the people out there a little bit about what it was like? Yeah,
so for me, I'm the kind of alcoholic that I didn't need alcohol every day. For me, when I started drinking, I didn't know when to stop, and I didn't want to stop. And so for me to be able to function, it was just I developed the ability to drink hard and then do what I needed to do the next day.
Now, Jack, do you remember why you started? Do you remember why you started drinking?
No, I can't pinpoint why I started, but I know within the military there was a culture of work hard, play hard. Right. And through that, some of us just are maybe a little bit more predisposed to it. I don't know, but I know for myself, I just kept turning more to alcohol. And as these events happened, that's how it developed.
When did you realize that you had PTSD? Or when did you sort of say, hey, you know what, something's wrong, I need help?
I didn't realize it until I got sober. And so in 2009, I stopped drinking, and I've been sober ever since. And as a result of that, I discovered that there were some issues that I had to deal with through nightmares and flashbacks. And so those took a toll on how I was able to cope with day-to-day skills or day-to-day living. And that's when I realized I had to deal with it.
Now, Jack, we talked earlier, I'd like the people out there to know, what made you stop drinking? Just what made you stop?
Well, my drinking had progressively gotten worse. And so one day I was dropping off my daughter at school, and I had tried to stop drinking on my own multiple times. And my daughter turned to me and she asked me if I was an alcoholic. And that was like a spear pierced my heart. And it was that day that I decided I had to reach out for help. And
okay, and that obviously was a turning point, obviously, for yourself. Yeah. And I think everybody probably has to find their own turning point. You mentioned that in an earlier conversation that in the military there's a certain culture about people coming to speak to officers. This is before, obviously, they might have changed now. But you just let the people out there what it's like for if someone would come to a commanding officer and say, listen, I think I got problems, I got issues here.
Yeah, for me, and some of this is a little difficult to go over, yes. And so I feel it coming up. But for me, I was raised in a culture where if something was bothering me, I felt afraid to address it with some of my superiors because I would be called possibly weak or I should be tougher. And so I developed that in my leadership as well. So when a soldier would come to me with maybe an issue or something, I was doing the same thing. So in essence, I was developing them the fear of addressing what was bothering them. And I look back on that now, and it wasn't the way to lead my soldiers. So if I were to change anything, it would be the fact that I would be more open to finding out what was bothering them and work with them through their problems.
But in all fairness, that's not your fault. That's the culture of the
100%. Yeah, yeah. I don't harbor that anymore.
Okay. All right.
But I try to educate people as much as possible now that are in a position of authority that can.
Now, Jack, so when did you realize it's important to talk about this issue? Like, when did you say to yourself, you know what, I'm glad I'm talking about it. I should talk about it. You know, when?
It was through my recovery, and then getting involved in the health and fitness industry, seeing that there's so many people that are out there that can benefit from just being more open about things that are bothering them in their life. And through me being able to express what I experienced, it allows them to use their voice to say, hey, maybe something's bothering me as well. It might not be post-traumatic stress, but there's different issues that everybody has that if we can just talk about it and get it out there, all of a sudden it's not such a big deal.
Now, post-traumatic stress is not just in military, because a lot of people think it has to do with military people only. It happens
Correct.
in a lot of other fields, right?
Yeah, big time. And you know, post-traumatic stress is exactly what the word says. It's post-traumatic stress. So nobody can determine what's going to be traumatizing to any one individual. For you, it might be something of a larger scale than it is for me. But it's the ability for us after that traumatic event to discuss how or deal with how that affected us. And so I know a lot of people who never served in the military or, you know, doing different jobs. It's just somebody bringing their child to school and witnessing an accident could suffer from post-traumatic stress. And then the disorder part comes in the inability to deal with that and how it affects you long term. And that's where it became a disorder for me, because I hadn't developed the ability to deal with those traumatic events, and by stuffing them through my alcoholism, it affected the other parts of my life.
Now, you've obviously been channeling your energy into the gym and fitness, etc.
Correct.
How has that helped you, and how's that sort of made you move forward and deal with different things?
Well, what I was able to do was, you know, figure out very early on that in order to help myself, I had to help others. So as I started getting better, I used what was helping me get better to reach out to others and do the same thing. And so it's kind of the same premises as Alcoholics Anonymous does for alcoholics. I was able to do the same thing with regular day living for anybody that might be suffering from something that could benefit from my experience. And so I just looked for any opportunity to help others. For myself, that started with nutrition and exercise. And the difference that incorporating solid nutrition planning and good exercise, the difference that made in my life, I started reaching out to others and offering them that same kind of solution.
Now, we were talking about a gentleman who just contacted you recently.
Correct, yeah.
And do you want to tell people out there a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. So a friend of mine who, you know, we're extremely close. He lives down in the United States. He reached out to me just today, and one of the things we were talking about was, you know, how he was feeling, and my suggestion for him was to get out and socialize more with positive people, instead of staying, you know, on his own and just thinking about what was bothering him. And I know for myself that is probably the key thing that made a big difference in how I got better. Was I reached out to different people that had accomplished what it was I was looking for, and I simply said to them, "What, you know, would you help me?"
Yeah.
And when they said yes, I said, "What did you do?" And then I just did what they did. And for me, that's made the difference in being where I am today, which is I never have a bad day. I don't accept any type of negativity into my life.
I love that.
Yeah, and you know, it can be raining outside, and I'll smile because, you know, everybody needs a little bit of rain.
You must have been smiling a lot lately.
Yeah. But yeah, it's positivity, right?
Now, Jack, what would you say to the person out there who might be suffering from PTSD, what kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah.
From your experience.
For anybody that's suffering out there, you know, try not to diminish it or minimize what it is you're feeling. If you're feeling something, then acknowledge that and give it the respect that it deserves. That said, you don't have to suffer alone. There's a lot of people that have gone through what you're going through and have been able to accomplish amazing things afterwards. So what I say is reach out. If there's negativity that's surrounding you, try to get yourself away from that and find the positive people that are out there, Aldo, and find out what it is that they did and are doing, and then do the same thing.
Jack, I just want to say, you know, I've known this gentleman for a while now, and he is extremely positive. It takes a lot of courage to step forward, and it takes a giant heart to help others. So I certainly appreciate you coming here today, talking about this issue. I know a lot of people, you know, they're embarrassed or they're feeling, you know, some type of feeling negative about saying these things. You coming forward, I think, might help some people out there. So
I hope
certainly
it does.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Jack,
definitely.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Aldo.
Jack Murphy from Unleashed Fighting Fitness. I want to say thank you, Jack, for being here today. And if you have questions or concerns, you can contact Jack. Jack, where can they reach you at?
100%. Anybody can reach me at unleashedfightingfitness.ca. As well, we have an Unleashed Fighting Fitness Facebook page where you can leave a message. And at any point in time, I'm an open book as far as contacting me on my cell phone. And that cell phone number, if I can give it, is 807-629-4930. And I love helping people with, you know, just improving their lifestyle.
Wow, that's fantastic. Jack Murphy, Unleashed Fighting Fitness, thank you very much for watching Thunder Bay Live. We'll be back with other episodes from other interesting and amazing people in our community. Take care and have a great day.